Hey everybody, it's Beth from Yoga and Reiki Bliss. Today we're going to explore a practice that is very much a breath-centered practice. We're going to use the breath as the impetus for our movement so that we start to move on the rhythm of the breath rather than the rhythm of the brain, which might be radically different. I know for me it is. For our practice today, I would encourage you to have a blanket and a yoga block or two. If you don't have blocks, books would do just well. And so let's get on the mat. And let's take your block and your blanket and place your block on your mat, sort of kitty corner, and fold your blanket in half. And let's go ahead and put the blanket on top. And then I'm going to come to sit more on the corner of the block. So I'm sitting more on this part rather than the flat part. And the reason being is I like the sensation, and I think it's really valuable to allow the thighs to drop so they're not getting pushed up by the hard edges of the block. You're kind of framing around it on the point. Let your pelvis be upright, your spine upright, and notice the space in and around your abdomen, rib cage, chest for your breath to move with freedom. You can rest your hands on your thighs, you can close your eyes, and let's just take a moment to tune into the breath. First step, just know you're breathing in, know you're breathing out. Notice, are you breathing mostly through your nose or your mouth or a combo of the two? And then slip your hands around your waist, like your hands were making a belt. See if you can start to feel the inside out and from the gentle touch of your hands where you feel the breath in your body, where you feel movement as you inhale and as you exhale. And now start to pay attention to the rhythm of your breath. The next time you inhale, allow your arms to sweep out to the sides and rise up to the sky. And when you exhale, invite your hands to your heart. Let's do that one more time, exactly like that. Let the whole length of your inhale sweep your arms out and rise them up. And can you use the whole exhale to bring your hands to your heart? And out on. When you inhale, let your arms sweep out and rise up. See if you can use that full exhale to soften your right hand to the ground and create a little side bend through your trunk. Allow your inhale to float you up. And let your exhale side bend you to your left. Let your inhale float you up. And then let your exhale twist you to the right. Keep the spine nice, long, and lifted. When you inhale, turn everything back to the center. Let your arms float back up to the sky. And when you exhale, find a little rotation to the left. Let your hands float down, just supporting that shape. When you inhale, scoop your arms up. Then let your arms backstroke as you exhale. Sweep them back and down. Then when you inhale, scoop your arms forward and up and let your heart lift. As you exhale, invite your hands to your heart. Staying with that rhythm of your breath. Let your inhale, sweep your arms out and up. And let's make a side bend to your left this time. Use the whole inhale to float you up, so there's no need to rush to get to the next movement. And then when you're ready to exhale, soften your right hand down, make a side bend. When you breathe in, float everything up. When you exhale, make a twist to your left, let your hand just float down, like lightly, like feathers. And when you inhale, scoop everything up. Come on back to the center. And use your whole exhale to twist you to the right. Hands gently floating down. And then when you inhale, scoop your arms up, come on back to the center. When you exhale, backstroke your arms and scoop them down. And then inhale, scoop them forward and up, let your heart lift. And then exhale your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Enjoy a moment to be with your breath. Notice how this next breath in and out feel in your body. And then from here, release your hands and let's shift into a little tabletop. Hands and knees. Go ahead and slip your blanket across your mat so you've got a little cushioning for your knees. And come into this quadruped position. The hands more or less under the shoulders wide, so you feel spacious across your collarbones. Let your knees settle as wide as your hips. Drop back into the rhythm of your breath. And the next time you exhale, go ahead and curl your tail downwards. It's really that backward tilt of the pelvis, creating that feeling that the tail is curling down. Round your spine and drop your head. Then let your pelvis tilt forward so it feels like the tail reaches up toward the sky. And invite a soft back bend through the length of the spine. Sensation of your heart trying to weave forward and up. As you exhale, curling around into your cat, take your time. Use that whole exhale. And inhale into your cat. Let this rhythm of the breath direct the speed of the movement. Notice how this might be different from how you do the bulk of your day. So you can stay with things just as they are. And the next time exhaling, rounding into cat, or you could even move this into like a little cat child's pose hybrid. And when you inhale, press down into your shins, come forward, lift the tail, lift the heart, cow pose. As you exhale, curling around cat with the possibility of dropping the hips to your heels. A couple more times like that on the rhythm of your breath. Let's invite one more cow pose. When you exhale, let's arrive toward a neutral spine. Breath in, and take a breath out. Go ahead and find your hands up onto your blocks. Give yourself a little room. Give a little push of those blocks away. And with your exhale next, stick your right foot forward in between your blocks. When you inhale, let the pelvis rock a little forward towards your front heel. And when you exhale, rock the pelvis back and let your front leg lengthen. You're welcome to walk the blocks with you. When you inhale, rock forward just till you sense a little opening in the front of your left hip, thigh. When you exhale, rock back just till you feel a little opening or stretch in the back of your right thigh or even your calf. Let's rock it again. Forward and rock it again. When you breathe in, return with your front knee bent. Push into your blocks and exhale your knee underneath. Breathe your hands to the earth. Find cow pose. Exhale and round into your cat. Breathe your way to neutral. And slide your hands up onto your blocks. As you inhale, root your hands down into the blocks if you're trying to push them away from you. As you exhale, step your left foot forward. When you inhale, rock your pelvis a little forward towards your front heel. Whole heel stays on the ground. As you exhale, rock it back. You can flex the front ankle. And gently rock it with the rhythm of the breath. Letting this soothing motion combined with the rhythm of your breath start to make a change. An internal change that might arise just by slowing things down a little bit. When you inhale, rock forward. When you exhale, let's return to table. When you breathe in, lift the tail, lift the heart, cow. When you exhale, curl and round. Breathe into neutral, space between. And exhale your hands onto your blocks one more time. Breathe in, give a little push downward, create some room from the ground to your armpits. And exhale, step your right foot forward. You know this part. As you inhale, rock your pelvis forward towards your front heel. When you exhale, rock your pelvis. And when you rock forward, foot stays on the ground, the whole foot. Let your right knee point straight ahead as if it were lining up between the spaces between the two middle toes. And then when you exhale, rock back. Let's keep that kneecap facing the sky. Now let's breathe in and rock forward. Keep the back knee down. Give a little hug of your thighs towards each other. Breathe your right arm forward. And start to turn your belly and your chest to the right. Your right arm might rise up to the sky as if it were growing out of your left shoulder. That feels like too much. You can always put your hand on your hip. Let's invite one more breath in and one more breath out. When you inhale, return your right hand to your block. When you exhale, find your way back to tabletop. With a breath in, lift the tail, lift the heart. With an exhale, curl and round. Breathe into your neutral spine. Exhale your hands up into the block. Inhale, little gentle but firm push downward into those blocks. Exhale your left foot forward. As you breathe in, rock your pelvis forward. As you breathe out, rock your pelvis back. Breathing in, rock forward, your front knee straight ahead. Like a little laser beam. As you exhale, rock back, your kneecap facing the sky. Let's inhale, rock forward, and stay right there. Add a little hug of your thighs towards each other. Breathe in, let's reach the left arm forward so you get long through the ribs, and then turn your belly and your chest to the left. And your left arm might rise up as you push the earth away, like it's growing out of your right arm. Or you can put your hand on your hip, trying to stack your shoulders. Invite one more full breath. And then as you inhale next, return your hand. And when you exhale, find your tabletop. With the breath in, lift the tail of the heart. As you exhale, curl in round in on yourself. Breathe your way back to neutral, the space between. And rock your hips to your heels, child's pose. And if that's not working, you can always soften your elbows to the ground and bow the head. Notice how your breath feels in your body. Notice the quality of the in muscle as you go. Even notice the quality of your mind. And the next time you inhale, go ahead and walk yourself back up. Shift your blanket off to the side. And we'll make our way down onto our backs and have a block handy dandy nearby. We're going to use it on its lowest height. A book could also work. Even a blanket folded in half along the long side to make a long, thin rectangular shape could work well. So have all those possibilities available to you. As you come to lie down, make sure you've got some room behind you, behind your head, maybe an arm's length. And bend your knees and set your feet a comfortable distance apart and a comfortable distance away from your bum. And I'd love you to think about how could you organize these feet so you feel rooted into the heels, into the balls of the feet, even into the toes of it. Come on back to the rhythm of your breath. And the next time you inhale, root into those heels and lift your hips up. And when you exhale, soften your hips back. As you inhale, root into your heels and lift your hips. As you exhale, lower your hips. Do it like that one more time before we end. And just notice, as you lift the hips, can you use the inhale? Can the knees stay still, tracking forward? And they haven't fallen in or too wide out. And exhale up. Now, we're going to keep going with this movement a few more times. We're going to layer in the arms. And the next time you inhale, root into your heels, lift your hips, and let your arms lift up and back behind you alongside your ears as far as they'll go. If they don't touch the ground, you could conceivably put a blanket there. Exhale, lower everything down. So you bring the earth up to meet you. Do that 4 more times. Use the whole length of your inhale to lift the hips and the arms. Use the whole length of your exhale to lower the hips, the arms. Maybe everything arrive at the same time. One. And here, keep the hips lifted. Exhale, just lower your arms. Find your block or your blanket or your book and slip it behind the back of your pelvis. Let your hips come to rest on that prop, whatever it is. Wiggle around so you feel like it's comfortable. I like it more on the back of my pelvis, my sacrum, so that my tail is just a little bit off and it's not digging too much into my low back. So I'm supporting the natural curve of my low back, not overdoing it. Let the arms rest, maybe out like a T or up by your ears if you enjoyed that spot. And drop back into the rhythm of your breath. Keeping your pelvis heavy. Allow your shoulders and your arms to rest heavy. Allow the back of your head to rest. Let it release. All the muscles, even the skin and your skull to release. Maybe a little extra attention toward the brow. Softening through the brow. Go out on the hinge a little bit. Maybe soften, maybe the heart. If we linger here, we keep returning to the breath. Gentle rise, gentle fall. Of course, the mind will wander. Got its job. And process it. Plan. But for now, I don't have to do that. And when you notice your mind wandering, just acknowledge where it's going and then bring it back to just doing that one thing. Watching the breath come in and watching the breath go out. Find your next breath in. And find your next breath out. When you inhale next, root into your feet just a little bit more. Lift your hips. Slip your block out and exhale your hips all the way back down. Once your hips come down, let your feet widen. A little wider than your hips, maybe as wide as your yoga mat. And when you exhale, let your knees fall to your left and enjoy your breath in. Enjoy your breath. Then when you inhale, rock your knees up. And when you exhale, rock them over to the right. Enjoy your breath. And then when you inhale, rock your knees back up. That's how it stretch the legs. And then move into just a few moments of stillness, Shavasana. You're welcome to cover up with a blanket, or roll a blanket under your knees. Your low back is not content. Even a blanket under your head might feel lovely. Let everything have a moment to be still. Returning to that rhythm of your breath. And your next breath in. And feel your next breath out. And as you breathe your next breath in, slowly one by one, bend your knees. When you're ready to exhale, gently roll over to one side. Take a moment to enjoy your breath here. And then when you feel ready, let your top hand find the earth, and we'll use that for support. Come all the way up to sit. Take a moment to find a comfortable seat. And just notice your current state of being. Acknowledging anything that's shifted. Certainly acknowledging anything that feels the same. You allow yourself to arrive more fully in this moment. And as you breathe in, and join your hands together right in front of your heart. As you exhale, gently bow your head to your heart as a way to honor yourself and all the goodness that's around you. Namaste. Thank you so much for meeting me here. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, please do so. For more videos and to even find out when I'm teaching, please visit thisisyourbliss.com. Take care, everybody.